Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. Alright, so we're pretty much all set and ready to go to start our second year. Yorihime secretive has triggered, so she now has to skip the next hunt, unfortunately. We also have Mira and Momiji right now out of commission as far as skipping hunts are concerned. Tenchi, something I forgot to do with Tenchi is whenever we did the what do you call it? When we did the events for the Gorm, the story event, whoever you nominate actually gets +1 insanity, and I forgot to actually give her that insanity. So my apologies. All right, but she can now go on hunts again. That's great. Because we're desperately going to need people. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We need to go ahead and do our usual settlement phase stuff. So we had our 4 endeavors because everyone came back alive, though half of them were unconscious. Next, we need to draw a settlement event. Now, I mentioned already that I'm considering that we've already done the Aya event, the Aya the where is it? Challenge scenario. Aya the Survivor challenge scenario. And when you succeed in that, instead of drawing a settlement event, Aya is just going to show up and give us a reward for completing it. If you want to see how the Aya of the Survivor is done, there's a video, one of my videos about sub scenarios and stuff shows a playthrough of it. All right, so the rewards, of course, are her spear and her sword, which is great because that is some. They're about this. They're not as accurate as the bone blades, but they are stronger and they're not frail. That and they can pair with the spear, so it's definitely a good thing to have. All right, so whoever has this equipped, and assuming, of course, you're using it as a sword and not a spear, you will have that person will have 5 attacks at accuracy 6 and strength 4. So not too shabby. All right, so that's been taken care of. Anything else for the settlement phase? Death count? Nope. Update timeline? Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and update the timeline. The survival limit right now is actually 5, but I'm not updating it just yet because there's some reasons for that. So timeline year 2, we get Endless Screams and Gorm Climate, which was the Gorm Climate was added because of the approaching storm from before. All right, so with that, let's do Endless Screams first. So, because we have to do it in the order. So for those who don't know the image, there's your image. It's a very happy image. All right, next we need to pick someone to be the voice of reason. So a scream pierces the silence around the settlement. As the noise fades, a chorus of horror rises up in answer. So we got to pick someone to calm everyone down. For this one, whoever I pick will get +1 courage, which will be nice. I think I want to pick. I mean, I could pick Tenchi, but I really don't want to right now. Let's pick Mira, or Mira. So I'm gonna roll a 1d10 for Mira. 9. All returning survivors get +2 insanity. She gets Orator of Death. She also gets +1 courage. So the survivors stand firm in the face of the screaming unknown. Slow and strong words change the settlement's fear into tingling excitement. After all, the endless screams might be an opportunity to gain knowledge and harness the darkness. All right, cool. So Mara gets Orator of Death, which allows her to boost everyone's insanity, which is something we desperately needed. All returning survivors get 2 insanity, so Yorihime is now our first insane character, and Umeko. So I probably should have given it to someone that I was going to send out, but I didn't exactly want to send someone out with a broken jaw, because there was that risk. Mara also got +1 courage, so that should be it. Yep, that is it. Wait a minute. I never did the Umeko was supposed to get +1 courage from a previous event. Give me one moment. I'm going to look at my book. Because I think I know which one it was. I'm already forgetting so many things. Alright, signs of battle, game plus courage. Random basic resource. Yeah. So Umeko, when we did the hunt events, she did search the give me one moment. Okay, it was Momiji that did it. So Momiji is supposed to have +1 courage because of the event where it was number 59 of the D100 table that we did. It was the very first hunt event we did, which was Signs of Battle. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and continue. So, that was it. All the returning survivors did get +2 insanity. So Umeko, Momiji, Mera, and Yorihime. Mera did get Orator of Death, +1 courage. Okay, so we're up to date. Next, we need to do Gorm Climate. So this is where shit gets a little annoying, because this is why I have to constantly hunt the Gorm. Alright, severe injuries, story events, settlement events. Okay. Gorm Climate. The returning survivors find the settlement tormented by relentless foul weather. Add the Gorm Climate to the next lantern year on the timeline and roll 1d10. So, we gotta roll 1d10. We also have to add Gorm Climate next year. 6. Okay, that's alright, I guess. Alright, so 6 is, do we have Hovel? We do. We actually have Hovel. I completely forgot we had Hovel. That's great. The survivors huddle inside as Razor winds and sickening lightning pummel the settlement, +2 to the endeavor results at home innovations this lantern year. Unfortunately, we don't have any home innovations, so it won't really help us that much. If we didn't have Hovel, what would happen would be all returning survivors would lose all their insanity and have to skip the next hunt, which would have been bad because that would have meant I would have to go on the next hunt with only 3 people. The last 8 to 10 isn't really that great because it can only apply to people that have 0 experience, but it's at least not a negative effect. 1, 2, and 3, on the other hand, is pretty bad. What will happen is you either lose all your resources, like all of them, or you can avoid that by dismantling innovation. So what ends up happening is if you end up getting bad rolls for Gorm Climate, you're gonna the best bet is to just keep dismantling Negretto and just keep hunting the Gorm so you can get Negretto back for free. So yeah, luckily we didn't have any of those issues, and yeah, we're good to go. The only thing we need to do now is we need to add to the timeline Gorm Climate. So Gorm Climate. There you go. So we're having it next year. Something to note: we do have we have 6 innovations. Usually that would trigger the Hooded Knight, but I decided to go without it. I mean, really, the only thing that would happen would be either it would slaughter 2 people, give us access to Mighty Strike, or it'll take up an inventory slot by forcing us to carry a freaking Twilight Sword. So, for the sake of this very specific campaign mode, I'm just going to say we're not going to deal with Hooded Knight. I mentioned this before, I'm just repeating it just so you guys know. So I just added the survival limit from Negretto because we didn't lose it. That's why I was not putting it in yet, because I was going to see if we actually lose it or not. Also, we do have +1 departing survival as well because of ammonia, because we did get that at the end of the last battle. Okay, so that's good. We have quite a bit to work with. I'm going to go ahead and start things off by just doing our innovation. Just get that out of the way. So we need to get rid of a monster hide, an organ, and a bone. We can get rid of... I guess I'm going to have to pull up that settlement location. Gourmet. I'll go more into this later. I think the thing we can probably get rid of is the heart. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just get rid of the heart. So we got rid of a hide, a heart, and we'll get rid of this and use it as a bone, maybe? Yeah, we can use it. Well, actually, what's the meaty rib for? Oops, wrong one. We'll talk about the Gorm Chemist in a bit. There's quite a bit of stuff to work with there. The meaty rib would get us access to a rib blade, which is a great weapon. Unfortunately, it's not a actual sword. And that's about it. Let me make sure that the rib blade. It is a grand weapon, yes. So, not what we're looking for. Okay, so yeah, we'll get rid of the meaty rib and use it as a bone. Okay, so that was the hide, the bone, and the organ. We can now innovate. So this time we get to roll get 4 cards because we have Symposium, which is great. So we have, it looks like 12 cards now, which is great. I keep saying great a lot. 4d12. And no duplicates. And wow, it was a straight. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 is Bloodletting, 2 is Drums, 3 is Bed, and 4 is Inner Lantern. Inner Lantern would get us Surge. Drums would get us, well, something to do, I guess. But let me pull up the innovation. Well, I could zoom in, actually. Let's zoom in. There we go. That's a little bit better. Boop. Alright, so Bloodletting, really, the only thing Bloodletting would even do for us is if we ever get plagued. It can help a little bit there. It can actually fix injuries and a disorder. So it's not terrible, and having ways to cure injuries is pretty important. Drums can get rid of disorders as well. It also gets us access to drum consequences. Bed will get us access to more survival, and we can also heal some certain injuries, which is good. And of course, Inner Lantern gets us access to Surge. And Surge might be our best bet. Drums is actually super useful because it gets us a step closer to Song of the Brave. And I really want Song of the Brave because that will get rid of the freaking bad weather. You have to get Song of the Brave and, defeat the Gorm, of course. But being able to cure, injuries, I think is pretty significant as well. So I'm thinking Bed or Inner Lantern. Inner Lantern, of course, get us access to Surge, and honestly, being able to just shred a monster, I think is a bit more important. We need to kill things faster than it can kill us. So yeah, I think I will go ahead and go with my gut and go with Inner Lantern. Also, as far as fighting higher level monsters, the only time you can really be prepared for fighting higher level monsters is if you get Surge and Dash, and you pretty much need both in order to hold your own. Alright, so we get Inner Lantern, which is of course going to add Shrine and Scarification. Scarification could be a way of getting some potential buffs, which is good. And then, what was the other one? It was Shrine. So, here we go, Shrine. So our deck is now 13 cards. Okay, so that's been taken care of. We now have Inner Lantern, which is always good. So yeah, our next thing, I'm going to go ahead and move Negretto to the end, because it is going to be our sacrificial innovation for now. Okay, so a few things we can do. Let's go ahead and show off the Gourmet. So the Gourmet gets you access to the Gorm set, which is the Gourmet set or whatever, which is a bit weird because it has a suit that actually counts as 2 hit locations for armor. And then the fifth piece is actually a regeneration suit, which is a way of healing injuries after battles, which is pretty useful. Of course, you're gonna have to get some fancy stuff to actually get it working, and the big issue is getting enough stout hides to actually get anything going. As for the Gourmet set itself, I think it's a level 2 set. It's kind of hard to say. Gourmet boots. It's heavy for one thing. Other survivors may move through but not end movement in a space you occupy. So if you have Gourmet boots, you don't block movement anymore, which is always good. The mask allows you to, if your courage is higher than the monster's level, you can ignore intimidate actions, which is really powerful against a Gorm. The sleeves, you may guard without spending survival. So that's a special guard is a special ability, which is going to be part of the suit, I believe. Yep. So the suit gives 2 armor to the chest and the waist. And at the end of your attack, if you're standing and have a shield in your gear grid, spend 1 survival to move 3 spaces directly away from the monster and block 1 for free. So yeah, really pretty defensive armor set. The only thing, of course, I'm worried about is the fact it's heavy, and if you get cracks in the ground, it's pretty nasty. That being said, the chances of us getting cracks in the ground is a 1d. It's essentially getting crash. It's a 1 out of 21 chance now, and in order for you to lose all your heavy gear, you would have to roll a natural 1 on crack to the ground. So the chances of it happening are small, but when it happens, it's going to hurt. So I might consider actually working towards getting the Gourmet suit and all that good stuff, but it's gonna take quite a bit. The rest of the stuff here is pretty fancy. You got a grand weapon. You have 2 different axes, a dagger, a really powerful sword that is essentially the N-tier stuff, and a mace as well as a shield. It has a pretty wide range of stuff you can do here. Alright, so let's take a look at the Acid Tooth Dagger. So this thing is a dagger that can be paired, and on perfect hits, a wound attempt in your attack will automatically succeed. Really, really good. So anything that lets you get some benefits from perfect hits is always a good thing. Of course, there's things like armor spikes, where you can, if you ever suffer a severe body injury while adjacent to a monster, the monster will suffer a wound. Not exactly something you want to rely on, but it's nice to get some counter damage. This is a Gax. If you get the red connection for it, or just a red affinity, you get +1 speed and savage on it. So it's essentially a stronger form of a bone axe. Yeah, it's a stronger form of a bone axe that's pretty much it. Each showdown, the first time you critically wound the monster, they gain a -1 evasion token, which is really good. So yeah, Gax is pretty good. There's also the Greater Gax, which is heavy, unfortunately. It has its same stats as a Gax that's, well, it has the same stats as an upgraded Gax for the most part, but it has Deadly Reach 2, and on perfect hit it gets +4 strength. Excuse me. The shield is actually pretty unique because it doesn't actually give you armor, not like the leather shield. Once per round, if you wound with this weapon, block 1 for free. So it's an offensive-based shield, where if you attack with it, you can actually block with it if you actually succeed in wounding with it. Of course, it's strength 1, so it's a bit tough to use. As far as we got the Pulse Lantern. Once per showdown, roll 1d10 on a result of 4+. The monster is knocked down, and all survivors gain -1 accuracy token. So you debuff your entire group, but it will knock down your it will knock down the monster. So it can be useful if you're just going all in. Riot Mace. You can make it so the monster will do a basic action instead of drawing an AI card if you crit with it. Not too shabby. It's also a really strong mace, to be honest. The Rib Blade is a grand weapon, which you can get pretty early if you, unlike, usually the first grand weapon you get is the Zanbato, but in this you can get the Rib Blade, which is a little bit weaker than the Zanbato, and it doesn't have Devastating, but it does have Deadly, and it's not frail, so that is something you can work with. Besides that, the Regeneration Suit. So this is the Regeneration Suit. It actually gives 2 additional armor to the chest, so that means you actually get 4 armor to the chest if you complete the armor set. Actually, I think you can get 5 armor, but whatever. It's an accessory, so you can actually have it stack on top of normal armor. At the end of the showdown, remove any permanent injuries you suffered this showdown. So as long as you don't die, all injuries that you suffer get healed at the end of the battle, which is actually really good if you want to fight against something like, I don't know, the Manhunter. Unfortunately, getting the Regeneration Suit is going to be tough because we need the Stubborn Gliding for that. Alright, enough about that. So let's talk about the Gorm Chemist. So the Gorm Chemist is kind of our end-tier stuff. The way it works is you can spin 2 organs and roll 1d10, and then you can roll an additional 1d10 for every Gorm Chemie innovation you have in your settlement. Right now we have Negretto, which is a Gorm Chemie innovation, so if we would do it right now, we would roll 2d10 and add the results together. And then you'll gain whatever is listed there. So if right now if we do 2d10, we could potentially get either a random Gorm resource, a healing potion, or a wisdom potion. The potions each can do some pretty fancy stuff. Generally, the good ones are towards the end. And then the final thing, the end tier thing here, is the Gourmet, which is a material you need to make the black sword, which I didn't show off. So the black sword, you need a Gourmet and a handed skull. The handed skull is just a regular drop. And what the black sword does is it's a sword, it's heavy, it's 3 speed, 5 accuracy, 10 strength. On a perfect hit, gain +1 survival. If you are a sword master, you understand this weapon's potential and it gains +20 strength. So in the hands of a sword master, it would essentially be 4 speed, 4 accuracy, 31 strength. Yeah, pretty crazy. It is heavy, so there is a chance of losing it. But this is what I'm going to be going for. I'm going for the black sword. But in order for us to go for the black sword, we need to get more Gorm Chemie innovations. We need at least 3 to even have a chance of getting Gourmet, but 4 would give us a better chance. Also, if you happen to have any of these potions, when you do this roll, you can actually sacrifice one to re-roll a die result. Also, the final thing you can do with a Gorm Chemist is you can special innovate, which will automatically get you the next Gorm Chemie innovation, but it costs a strange resource and 1 Gorm brain. And we do have a strange resource. Strange resources are the things like fresh acanthus, or what we just got recently, iron. So we can actually use that iron to actually, and the brain that we got, to go ahead and, in an endeavor, to go ahead and get ourselves the next Gorm Chemist innovation. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So goodbye iron, goodbye brain, and we get albedo for free. Well, not for free, we did spend stuff for it, but now we have 2 Gorm Chemie innovations, so if we ever do any chemist stuff, we roll 3d10. Now, what the albedo does is you can spend 2 endeavors once per lantern year to roll and see if you can get. You'll either forget all your returning survivors will forget weapon proficiency, or you can spend 4 organs to gain a Gorm brain. So this is a way to filter resources to get brains. Or you can get Elixir Restoration, which is returning survivors change 1 negative attribute modifier of their choice to 0. Not too shabby. Okay, so with that, we do get the albedo consequence, which I don't even remember which one that is. It is Citrinitas. Okay, so we'll add that to the thing. There you go, Citrinitas. All right, so there you go. We're now getting tons of innovations, which is great. We are down to a bunch of hides, and a jiggling lard, which we could probably hold on to right now. And that's about it. Now what we can do with the hides is we can finish the rawhide set at the very least. In fact, let's go ahead and do that now. I don't think there's anything else that really stands out that well, there is a few things that stand out we could go for. We could try to go for things like the leather worker and other things like that. Besides that, I don't think there's really anything worth working on, which kind of sucks. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and spend the hide And let me pull up the settlement location again. See, we might be able to get a piece of the Gourmet set, so we might as well do that. We can either get the boots or the sleeves with what we have. Boots will allow people to move through unoccupied spaces. Sleeves would just let us be able to guard without spending survival. The sleeves would be more useful as far as like preventing deaths, so I might go ahead and go for that first. So let's go for the Gourmet sleeves, which is going to cost us a bone and a stout hide, and then we can use these 3 regular hides to make a rawhide. Finish the rawhide set. Okay. So here are the pants. Here are the boots. And here are the gloves. Okay, so we got those. And then let's go ahead and get the Gourmet set going. So we'll go ahead and get the sleeves for now. The reason I'm getting the sleeves over the legs is the chance of dying from severe injuries is less on the legs than it is on the arms. Okay. So with that said and done, let's go ahead and gear up. Gear up for now. Can we pair this? Nah, we'll just go with Bone Blade for her. We could use the Stout Kidney to get ourselves some monster grease. But that's about it. So I think we're good on that front. We have 2 endeavors left, and the only thing we can really do with it that's really of any use is do shared experience. We do have 2 people that have 2 or more hunt experience than the people that have 0 hunt experience. So what we can do is just spend 2 of those endeavors to get 2 people to 1 experience. So for that, we can go ahead and do that for Tenchi. And we can do that for Yomu. And that'll use up all of our endeavors. Okay. That does leave us with the Jiggling Lard and the Stout Kidney, but I want to hold on to those for now anyway, so that's completely fine. We are going to go ahead and hunt another Gorm, so we're going to go ahead and get that set up. Of course, we can't take Mera, Yorihime, or Momiji, because they are all missing the next hunt, either due to disorders or injuries, whichever. Alright. Kangara and Tenchi are both evasion type characters, and Yomu is a offense oriented character. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put most of my offense, I'll put the paired weapons with Yomu, because she has the highest strength. And then Kangara and I'll give Tenchi the Bone Blade, because she does have some insanity to tank with. And yeah, that should be it. So yeah, this is going to be our team. Of course, Umeko is kind of carrying everything, because she's, our luck crit character. Alright, as far as departing, let's go ahead and update Umeko. She has a full set of armor, which is great. She does get +1. She gets +2 survival from her armor set. She gets +1 from the fecal salve, and she gets +2 because of our innovation. So she does max out at 5. We do have Surge now, and Yomu is going to get 2 survival. Tenshi's going to get 2 survival, and Kangara is going to get 2 survival. And Yomu will have 2 armor for the arms. and all of them will have Surge. Okay, so yeah, that is what we're looking at here. So move you guys down. Let's move these because we don't need those. Okay, and bring you guys up. All right, so that's not what I clicked on, but okay, we'll just do this. There we go. All right, so we need to pick a turn order, as always. Umeko, you'll be last. All right. Let me be right back, and we'll get this hunt started. We're, of course, hunting another Gorm, so BRB. All right, sorry about that. I had to get the PDF open for you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and start with Yomu. Once again, we'll do a 1d7. 5. Mating fields. Ahead, the ground is covered in mounds of foul, smelling corrosive vomit. Any of the survivors may choose to investigate. Each that does gain +1 courage and rolls on the table. Each survivor one at a time. I'm just seeing what sort of stuff you can get here. We can get some random Gorm resources, which is amazing. If no one investigates, we'll get a random hunt event. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Kangara first. So Kangara, 1d10. 1 takes 1 damage to the legs. Okay, she does get +1 courage though. Tenchi, you'll go next. 3, 1 damage to the legs location. Okay, we're doing good. I mean, since I got like 10s last time on my hunt events, I guess I can't complain. I can't afford having Yomu go get brain traumatized, so I will go ahead and do it with Umeko, sorry. So 1d10, 3, 1 damage to the legs. So Umeko gets +1 courage and 1 damage to the legs. Wading through the sickening pools burns your legs and produces nothing. So suffer 1 event damage to the legs. So yeah, it's only a 20% chance of getting a resource, but I gotta go for it. You gotta get those resources. Alright, so 1d7 for Tenchi. 4, this one we are familiar with. Itchy Palms. So once again, we have to have 3 understanding to get anything from this. We don't have it, so we're just going to roll a random hunt event. 54. Bone Storm. Mighty windstorms often blow across the open plains. Occasionally they grow so strong that they collect chips of stones and skeletal remains in their shearing depths. The survivors may brave the storm. If they do, each survivor suffers 1 event damage to 3 random hit locations, gains +1 courage, and archive all fragile gear. Otherwise, survivors take shelter from the biting winds and must roll twice on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. That's a bit too brutal for me. I would like to get the courage, but this would shred majority of the group. So, all right, we'll roll twice on the hunt board. This is not good. All right, here we go again. 93. That sounds not pleasant. Lost survivor. In the hollow between 2 identical rocks, you find a corpse with fabulous hair clutching a book to its chest. Of the settlement, innovated pictographs. We can read from the book. We don't have pictographs, so we can't read from it. So nothing happens. Yay. Okay. So next we need to do one more hunt event. 14. Oops. Went outside the table. We're almost out of the table. Almost there. Should be right here. As soon as it actually loads. There we go. So down here. 14. The survivors encounter a bewitching barefoot waif. If all survivors are insane, she turns back and disappears into the darkness. Roll again on the hunt event table, blah, 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 blah. Otherwise, exclaiming wildly at the survivor's presence fills, the savior's presence fills everyone with the alien feeling of hope. I like how hope is an alien feeling. All survivors gain +1 courage and +1 understanding. All injury levels are fully healed. In addition, if the survivors have innovated symposium, she insists that she accompanies them on their hunt. A random survivor starts the next showdown with a +1 accuracy token. Okay. I kind of wish I went through the Bone Storm now, but there was no way for me to assume that we are going to run into that. So, alright. +1 courage, +1 understanding. Tenchi does trigger Bold, which was going to get her prepared. And then Yomu gets +1 courage, +1 understanding, and Umeko gets +1 courage, +1 understanding. Alright. First, I'm going to go ahead and roll for the +1 accuracy token. So 1 is Kangara, 2 is Tenchi, 3 is Yomu, 4 is Yomiko. 2 is Tenchi, she gets a +1 accuracy token. Okay, so that'll help out a little bit. Besides that, the only other thing we can work with right now, we need to do the bold event for Tenchi. So let's go ahead and do that. Story event, bold. Looks just like Tenchi. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the 1d10 for it. 8. In a single moment, your perspective changes profoundly. Hunt phase, triumph. Expect the unexpected. You are prepared to face any mind-bending trials at a moment's notice. Where others may falter, you forge ahead, meeting the journey head-on. Gain the following ability and blah, blah, blah. So you get prepared, which means whenever rolling for stragglers, she can add her hunt experience to the result. Now what 8 gives her is +1 permanent strength, which is awesome. So here you go, Tenchi. You get +1 permanent strength, which is going to make her even more useful. Okay, so yeah, that was taken care of. Next is Kangara. We need to roll a hunt event again. 17. Face to face. One stone face in the area in the sea of many catches the event revealer's eye. The event revealer may investigate, gain +1 courage, and roll on the table. Otherwise, roll again on the hunt event table. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and investigate with Kangara. I'm completely okay with that. This is going to give her +1 courage, which is going to trigger bold. So let's go ahead and roll 1d10 for that real quick. 9. That should be +1 strength again. It is. So Kangara just got herself +1 strength, which is great. That means our tankier characters are actually getting stronger. She also gets prepared, which I've already clicked. Okay. So next I need to roll 1d10 on the event itself, which is a 4. The face reminds you of someone dear. Your heart aches with loneliness. If your survival is higher than your insanity, you suffer 1 brain event damage. So unfortunately, she's going to start with a brain damage. That's okay. We did get 2 people to bold, which is really, really good for us. And next is Umeko, who's going to find the monster. Awesome. So once again, we're going to be fighting the wonderful, wonderful Gorm, and hopefully the wonderful, wonderful Gorm will not wreck us too badly. He killed 2 people. He technically killed 2 people. If I wasn't playing on hero mode, we would have lost half our group already. So take that for what you will. I'm going to go ahead and roll for terrain. Also, I'm going to make sure I'm still recording. I am. Okay, so 13 and 14. Put those away. 13 and 14 are both giant stone faces. So we get both of them now. So they have to be set up 5 spaces away from the board edges. So I guess we can do something like that, I guess. Besides that, I'm probably not going to be using it for much. Let's go ahead and get the deck ready. Let's go ahead and shuffle the hit location deck. Hopefully it doesn't kill us. And then shuffle the events cards. 1, 2. Then 8 basic cards. I don't need to say that this is a level 1 Gorm, by the way. We could fight a level 2, but it's not going to really be good for us. The thing that makes a level 2 Gorm really, really bad, well, there's a lot of things that make level 2 Gorm really, really bad. One is you have to go through a story event just to reach it. The other thing is it can make it so your, I think in the case of level 2, it increases the cost for dashing to cost 2 survival instead of 1. And then the other thing it does is at the end of its turn, I think, it will automatically do retch. So at the end of every turn, it just does retch, which would do 2 damage that bypasses armor. So all of it's bad. Okay. So what we're going to do here, there's nothing we need to gather, so there's that at least. Kangara, I kind of want you just to tank things. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 6 spaces away. No, I don't really want to be far away. There's no reason. I mean, there's reasons. The only reason I would want to be behind these stone faces is so I don't get picked as a random target. That's pretty much the only reason. So we're just going to take what we can get. So this will be our setup for now. Trying to think how bad this is going to be. Okay, I think that's fine. And in the case of Kongara, she could be right there. Alright, so everyone should be 6 spaces away. Alright, they are. Okay, so the Gorm does go first. I'm going to go ahead and have it face towards us because I know it goes freaking ballistic if it doesn't have a facing target. Alright, and let's go. Wrong thing. This thing. There we go. So, first AI card. Thunderfoot. When this comes into play, draw an AI card. Any survivors that end their act in the stomping zone suffer knockback 5 and are knocked down. When the monster is wounded, discard this card. Okay, draw next AI card. Aggravated Bite. Closest threat facing in range. And it's 2 attacks, 1 damage, does bleed. Okay. There we go. So, I'm going to go ahead and have it move an attack. I'm going to have it go after Kongara. It's going to hit on 3s. Two hits. Both to the head. Kongara will dodge 1, take 1 wound to the head, get 1 bleed, get knocked down. And I'll have Umeko shout her back up. I'll roll 1d10 to see if she keeps the point. She does have the full rawhide set. She does not keep the point. Okay, so Kongara's back on her feet. It's our turn. Kongara is going to cry herself to sleep. Kongara has no weapons. So yeah, she's just going to get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. Okay, next, I'm going to go ahead and have Umeko attack in place. So she is attacking the flank, though it's not exactly a safe flank. Umeko is equipped with the Bone Blade, so she attacks a number of times. 3d10 hits on 5s. One hit. Alright, this is a super dense location, which is going to break the frail weapon. Nothing I can do about it. Oh, also, I completely forgot about Thunderfoot. So what's going to happen is it's going to be knockback 5 and knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And knockdown. That's fine. I just want to get it gets her away from everything. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and roll a 1d10 plus 3 and hope I do something okay. I don't have any other strength bonuses, I'm just making sure. I wound, but I don't crit, which that's fine. So, wound succeeds. Thunderfoot gets discarded. And unfortunately, we do lose the Bone Blade. So, yeah, now Umeko has no weapon. Not a great start. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move her. Oh, actually, it was supposed to be 1d10 plus 4 because of mammoth hunting. 1, 2, 3. So she's just going to... Actually, 4. She can hang out there. Okay, so stomping, whatever it was called, Thunderfoot has been removed, and it is now our move. I'm going to go ahead and have Yomu move in and attack. Yomu has the Aya Sword and Spear combo, so they're paired together, so their speeds are added together, so that's 2 plus 2, 4, and she gets plus 1 speed because of Mastery. So 5d10, hits on 6s. All of them missed. I don't make this shit up. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I can have Yomu surge. In fact, I completely forgot that I could surge with Umeko. That's okay. So Yomu will surge and attack again. Hits once. Look at these rolls. How do you... This is a 1 in 1,000 chance. Right here. This streak of 1s there. That's a 1 in 1,000. But whatever. Alright, we do hit once. And it's the Mammoth Rump. Okay. Sorry, I should probably show that a bit longer. So yeah, if we wound it, it's going to cause retch. If we crit it, we'll get a Gorm resource. Alright. 1d10 plus 4. 3 from the weapon, 1 from her natural strength. That is a critical hit. That's definitely something we needed. So that cancels the wound effect, which is great. And it also gets us a random resource. So we'll roll a 1d21. We get a 3, which is going to get us a dense bone. Sturdy. There you go. Dense bone. I'll put a 3 there. Okay, so far we've done a whopping 2 wounds to it. I'll go ahead and have Tenchi move in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily, I think there's only one location that's super dense, so Tenchi should be quote-unquote safe. Actually, I'll have Tenchi attack from the side. So she'll attack 3 times, hits on 5s. Tenchi does have a Bone Blade, if I recall. She does. Okay. So yeah, she'll hit on 5s. 3 hits, 1 of them perfect. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now remember I do get to roll first and then decide the location. 1d10, 2 from the sword, 1 from Mastery, and 1 from her strength that she got from Bold. So 1d10 plus 4. That's a fail. So I will apply the fail to the hind gut. So that won't trigger. Alright, next I have to pick the location. I'll pick the goiter next. That is a wound to the goiter, which is not going to trigger anything. And then I will go for the skull. That is a crit to the skull. The Gorm hacks and retches, spitting up a glistening mass. 1 active thyroid, strange resource. Alright, so I'll pull up the active thyroid strange resource. Active thyroid. It's an organ. It's consumable. You can consume this. Roll 1d10 on a 7+, gain +1 permanent speed. Otherwise, your heart explodes, killing you instantly. So in this playthrough with hero mode, you could potentially use this to try to get some stats. What we'll probably end up using it for is probably to trigger things like excuse me. Also, of course, I screwed that up for the active thyroid. I have it as a handout rather than a character. So I have to do that. Okay. I wish there was an easy way to convert like these into different types, so I don't have to redo them later. But that's okay. Anyway, we got an active thyroid out of it, so no complaints. And that is pretty much the end of the round, unless I want to surge. And Tenshi is doing pretty... Oh, actually, Tenshi had +1 accuracy. Which is completely fine. Okay, so yeah, she's fine there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and have Tenshi surge. And she actually hits on 4s, not on 5s. So, thanks to the +1 accuracy token. So yeah, I'll go ahead and have her surge and attack 3 more times. 2 hits. Okay, Spongy Leg Bone, which gets +2 strength when you attempt to wound that location. And then the Mammoth Maw. Okay, I get the roll first and then decide the location. So 1d10 plus 4. That's a wound. I will apply it to... I'll actually apply it to the flank first, because if I don't, I'll end up going... The attack will go out of range. So there you go. Now I'll go for the maw. That's a wound to the maw, which is going to cause it to retch. So it's going to go 1, 2, and it's going to get everyone in this area here, which is going to be Tenshi, unfortunately, and it's going to do 1 wound that bypasses armor to a random hit location. So to her legs, which is actually going to knock her down. So there you go. She is knocked down. It is now Monster's turn. We definitely did a pretty good amount of damage. We did 6 wounds. Not too shabby. Next card is Strobe. Turn to face the most survivors, then target all survivors the monster is facing. Alright. Unfortunately, we can't interrupt this until... We have to wait until it intimidates, and then we can surge. So it's not going to really help us much. Alright, so who's the most survivors? Unfortunately, it's going to be this way. Okay, 1d10 for each target. On a 3+, they get brain damage and knockdown. So I'll start with Umeko first. 1d10. She is knocked down and brain damaged. Bink. Okay, Yomu next. I think that's enough, isn't it? Yep, it is. So Yomu takes a brain damage and gets knocked down. And then Tenshi, unfortunately, is as well. And Tenshi takes a brain damage, which she soaks, and she's already knocked down. Okay, and that is pretty much it. It is now our turns. Kangara does get back up, and so does Tenshi, because she was already knocked down in the previous turn. So first things first, we're going to have Kangara shout up. We'll have her shout up Umeko. And Kangara's just going to go and hide. Actually, that was too far. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Okay. So, next I'll have Umeko move to the flank and attack. She only gets 2 attacks because she's using her fist. Actually, no, I don't want to attack with her. I really don't. So yeah, I'll just move her out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Next I'll go with Tenshi. How's Yomu doing? Okay. Actually, I'll have Umeko shout up Yomu. Okay, she loses the point still. Okay, so everyone's up. I'm going to go ahead and have Tenchi go. 2 attacks. Or sorry, 3 attacks. 2 hits. We're pretty much on the verge of getting trap cards now. Alright, tail and bulging eye. Okay, we get to roll first, so 1d10 plus 4. A wound. I will pick the bulging eye. Okay. And then we'll try the tail next, which actually gets plus 2 strength because we're attacking from a flank. So that's another wound. Okay. Takes care of all of that. Next, we'll have Yomu go. Because I know she's going to hit the trap card. So 5d10 hits on 6s. 3 hits. Yeah, we're hitting trap card. No, we didn't. Okay. As always, we get to roll first and then pick the location. It's going to be 1d10 plus 4, 3 from the weapon, 1 from our mastery. Oh, sorry, 1d10 plus 5, because she has plus 1 natural strength. Okay, so 1d10 plus 5, I get to roll, then pick the location. That is a wound, so let's pick a location. I'm going to pick the mammoth distended gut. There you go. So that's a wound to the gut. And I'll prevent a retch from happening. Next, I will go for the testes. So it's going to be 1d10 plus 7. That's a wound to the testes. And then for the last one is the elbow, which is going to be 1d10 plus 5. Which is a crit to the elbow, which will just give her plus 1 survival, and it will kill the monster. So there you go. Battle over. That went a lot better than before. So, we did lose a sword, which sucks, but everyone does get plus 1 experience. Tenchi and Yomu level up. I'm going to go ahead and roll for Tenchi first. 2d10. That's a 14, which is probably just a... It is a fighting art. And then for Yomu, 19. Yomu gets plus 1 permanent accuracy. There you go. Which actually goes really well because she is using the least accurate of our sword weapons. Okay, with all that said and done, let's go ahead and roll for Tenchi's fighting art. With our handy-dandy expansion stuff included. So 1d47. 9. Fortunately, it's not expansion. Last man standing. While you are the only survivor on the showdown board, you may not gain bleed tokens or be knocked down. Makes sense for Tenchi, I guess. So, last man standing. Okay. That's taken care of. Okay. Next, we need to roll for loot. So, 40-21 for mammoth loot. Reroll duplicates. Alright, so 18 is a stout hide. Once again, I apologize. I have to actually make the tokens for these. And unfortunately, redoing them is actually kind of a pain. Alright, next, that was 18. 7 and 6 are jiggling lards, which are organ hides, which are nice. And then the last one was a 15, which is another stout hide. Okay, not bad. 2 stout hides. Because we need tons of those, unfortunately, to make the armor. Alright, that's taken care of. Next, we need to do 40-21 for regular resources. We didn't get a brain this time, but that's okay. 1, 5, 6, and 18. 1 is a broken lantern. 5 and 6 are monster bones, which we desperately need. That'll be enough to at least finish an armor set. And 18 is a monster organ. Alright, good stuff. So with all of this, we end up getting 2 extra resources for this battle, so not too shabby. Everyone is level 2 except for, or level 1 except for Kangara. She's a little bit behind still. I can actually get her a level by having Umeko talk to her, so that's an option. We can also get Momiji leveled up as well, and Mera, so we can get people caught up if we have the spare endeavors. Beyond that, nothing else triggers. We already got the settlement locations. We already have Negretto, so we can't get it again. So yeah, nothing else to really point out. So I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monster. See you guys later.